Hey everybody, OCD Mikey here. Hello. Look at my crazy hair. You guys think I need a haircut? It's looking kind of scraggly there. If I was a country star, I'd probably be Merle Haggard. Yeah, I think so. I'll have to get a little cut there and spruce it up. Looking like an old derelict or something. My neighbors must freak out. Look at that guy. He's going to hell in a handbasket. He's working too hard. Anyways, so yes, I want to preface this next vid. We'll give you a little background on it. This is a conversation I had last night with Mark Levinson, the man, Mark Levinson. I'm not sure if how many of you know the story, but the Mark Levinson company that is owned by Harman International has not been Mark Levinson, the real guy who started it. For over 30 years, I think. They haven't had him there. Back in the day when it really was Mark Levinson Audio Systems, that's when they were innovating and doing some firsts in the industry. It was really something back then. Once corporate gets a hold of things, they I've never seen it do anything that I consider good, other than profit. So I know Mark. I've known him for a while, about 10 years, 12 years, something like that, 15 years. I called him up one day. Red Rose Music just called up there to speak to the man himself, because I wanted to ask him, dude, how the hell did you get to where you are, like, doing this? Here I am being the cable dude and trying to figure this out. So let me know, oh wise one, what are the magic words? What's the incantation? Give me a couple spells and some incense or something, man. And as a matter of fact, we hit it off, and he invited me up to New York to see a project he was working on. And the next thing you know, over the next couple of years, we worked together. He hired me on as part of his team. He was working with LG Electronics as doing some hi-fi for them. And so I learned a lot over those couple of years and had a lot of fun. I have experience speaking and doing presentations and stuff like that. So it was cool for me. I took to it pretty well. Anyways, so we have remained friends over the years. And one thing that I can say about Mark, that I have recognized this, is that he seems to be a little bit ahead of the curve most of the time on whatever it is that he's working on. He's a forward thinker, and isn't where he's always ahead of the market, if you will. The market's one place, he's ahead. He's I guess a visionary in that regard. And so we'll get in here and talk. Oh yeah, by the way, this turned into like a 1 hour and 15-minute conversation. And so and basically what I did was we did a Skype conversation. I recorded it. And just with my phone here, like I'm doing now, I'm pointed at my screen, and so I had to edit because it was just too long, and we were just a bunch of stuff, and it was it was a little too much. It would have gotten very tedious. So I trimmed it down to 10 minutes. How about that? And just got out the good main points and so forth. And so you'll get a little peek into Mark's, how he thinks and what he thinks of the industry and sort of the projects he's working on and what he thinks is important. And you may find it very valuable, or just interesting at the least. And so we'll go ahead and go into that, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me leave some feedback and let me know what you guys think, in terms of if you like this kind of thing, because I can do more of this. I do know one or two other people, and so I can do more of this. Just want to see what your feedback is, and that's that. As always, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And the reason I say that, it's not because I monetize this thing, but it's because it carries more weight, okay? When I go to talk to people, industry people, and I want to say, I don't know, ask them like, okay, so we had the sub, well, I don't know if that's a good example. What was a good, I tried calling somebody the other day because I wanted to check out their DAC. It was maybe Chord. So many people are saying, check out Chord, and I've not had a chance to check out Chord. I don't want to buy it because it's not my my brand. You know, I've never been there's no reason why. It's just I've never been turned on, I guess, to it or something. You know, I never had that experience. So they will ask you flat out, like, what is your subscribership? You know, and depending on the number that you have will depend on what kind of a priority they give you in terms of making something happen. So if you'd like to see me make more things happen, I can do it much easier if I have a larger subscribership. Again, almost every single video that I do, when you hear me use music, okay, that's not just like Muzak, that's like real actual music that, you know, from artists, none of that stuff I can monetize at all, okay? And that's not why I came here anyways. So every time there's music, forget about it. They take it and it's theirs now, you know? So I'm doing this just as a service to you guys, but let's make it stronger if we can, because hey, if I got a little weight behind me, I'll do some more fun stuff for you guys. I think you'll like what I do. I'm not the typical, I don't know, well-behaved, audiophile, I guess. I'll stir it up a little bit, but try and be as polite as possible during that time. But anyways, so without further ado, let us get out of here and talk with Mr. Mark Levinson. Brought to you by OCD HiFi Mikey Guy. Talk to you soon. See ya. Whoa. Turn this down. Okay. Hey, Mark. Whoa, I can't hear you yet. Say something. Oh, there you go. Hear me? There you go. Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So I'll just have you there. We don't need to see my face. I'll just have you like that. You look good, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been doing well. It's an adventure.
Yeah? It always is, huh?
Well, especially now, yeah.
Yeah.
I realized that we had the vacuum tube from about 1920 to 1960. And then we had the transistor from 1960 to now. But the fact is that it's a dead end. You know, it can't go further. And the entire audio industry is working with 1960s technology. Mm-hmm. Today, the best recordings are made on Macs. That's what they make.
Yeah.
Why don't people use them to play it back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what? Why?
No. Because Apple has decided to do it.
Why do you think?
Because Apple hasn't decided to join the game yet?
There's no game to join.
I don't know.
There's a mafia of magazines, manufacturers, and audio stores that will do anything to optimize their profits.
Yeah.
There's no profit in selling an Apple computer. So they tell people you need this or this CD player or this server or something because it makes profits for them. Mm-hmm. The magazines want the advertising money. Apple doesn't advertise. So of course they don't talk about it. They talk about what makes the money. Mm-hmm. And there's this whole mafia that's out to keep things the way they are because they don't want to lose profit centers.
Yeah.
Magazines want the advertising money. Manufacturers want to sell their products. The stores want to sell their inventory. And they want to keep it going. So they have no interest in advancing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Advancing means changing their profit centers, changing their business model. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about this new technology that my company has developed is that it changes everything. Everything.
Yeah, like, tell me more.
So, for example, the first thing is that with our technology for improving the PCM digital audio waveform, we can get better sound than any other format. In other words, a standard CD file or even an MP3 file will sound better than a normal WAV or AIFF file or even 24 192 or whatever you want to call it. You know, it's just That whole thing is gone. There's no more format war. There's no argument anymore. It's over. The entire discussion about what format is gone because it's not about bits and bandwidth. That's not the problem. It never was. The problem is the non-continuous waveform. Once you have a continuous waveform, it just doesn't really matter anymore. You'll see. You can hear it for yourself. And so that whole thing is gone. It means if you have an analog master tape, for example, I have maybe 500 of them that I recorded.
Did you see these?
Yeah. I can make a copy using this technology, and it will sound exactly like the master tape or better.
Wow. Well, how could it be better? How? Yeah. Tell me how it could be better.
Okay. Well, for example, 30 inches per second tape is not flat. You have head bumps. You have a boost of about, normally, you have a boost of about 2 dB at 40 hertz, and then it falls like a stone, and you've got a depression at 2 kilohertz, and it boosts up again about 12K. That's just 30 amps tape. There's head bumps. It's not flat. Now, today, there is mastering software that runs on Macs that's very powerful. And you can smooth out that response with no negatives, no drawbacks. So you can restore the deep bass that didn't happen on a 30 amps tape. You can smooth out the head bumps. You can get essentially flatter response than you could with the analog tape.
I see.
Now, another thing is every time you move a microphone, you get a different frequency response. If you move a microphone this much, you get a different frequency response. What is the optimum frequency response? How do you know? When you're making a recording, what's the right place to put a microphone? You don't really know. You just put it where you think it's okay. Later on, you might say, oh, no. And then, so with software, you can adjust for that. Maybe a few tenths of a dB, maybe 1 dB, maybe something. But anyway, you can get better sound than you got at the live recording for this kind of mastering.
Wow.
We need new technology. We have to move forward. It takes courage, and it takes commitment to progress, to put people first, not profits.
Yeah, how about it? I would love to see that.
People say they have these values, but they don't put them to work.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, these are my values, but what do you actually do with your life?
Yeah.
The important thing is just to make progress and to be creative, to value innovation, and not have fear, It was a big decision for me to discontinue our analog amplifiers. But then I thought, why would anybody want that if they could have the new?
Yeah.
I would. Why should I ask somebody to buy the old stuff if I knew we had better?
Yeah.
Is that honest of me? No. First of all, the most important thing is honesty.
I agree.
With no honesty, you have nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's for sure.
So being honest means being committed to the truth. Don't lie. Don't hide.
Right.
And putting those values to work can be scary. And people like to stay in their comfort zone. Now, I'm not saying there's anything bad about anything. I mean, whatever people like is fine. People should get whatever they like. But I think it's important to be aware, to create awareness. Because what we think is real isn't always real.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that we need to place a value on awareness. And new technology is about awareness. I see that there are a lot of people spending an awful lot of money trying to get a better music system.
Yeah.
And in many cases, these people are trusting the so-called experts.
Yeah, right.
To advise them.
Uh-huh.
They read reviews, they listen to what the store people say, or maybe other people. The music lovers who are trusting the advice that they're given.
Mm-hmm.
In many cases, they're being
hoodwinked,
told to spend their money in ways which are not very intelligent. I'm not looking for a review. I'm not looking for somebody to say, oh, you have the best sounding amp or speaker or whatever. That's not important. But what I'm looking for are opportunities to advance the state of the art in audio.
Good, man.
Love you.
Okay, cheers. Thanks, man. Take care.